Hello, welcome to today's edition of Pegasus Test. On today's edition, we're covering Stage 7 Akhio action at Finnish Brutality 2025 Fire and Ice. And here you see Matt going off on the buzzer here, and on this stage you had 3 bays you had to engage a series of targets at while towing an Akhio. In this first bay, you had 2 targets downrange. You had to get in a 1-2-1-2 pattern, and then take a clearing shot on the smallest target off on the left. Easier said than done. Moving and twisting your body with that Akhio attached to you was definitely a challenge, to say the least. But using the car 21 here, Matt's making it happen and gets the clearing shot. Then he moves out towards the second bay. And him knowing how to ski was of great advantage. While I did much better on this stage than I did on stage 1 with the skis, still wasn't good enough, and Nick and I, being Southern boys and stuff, we're definitely out of our element in this snow. Now here in the second bay, the number of targets increased, so you had 3 down there that you had to get in 2 reps, so 1-2-3, 1-2-3, clearing shot, and then move on to the third bay. Now, one of the very cool things here they did at Finnish Brutality is a little different. On your clearing shots, was a 60-second penalty. You had to take the magazine out. You had to fire that final shot. But if you missed it, you could reinsert, rechamber, and go for it again.
Oh, shit.
And Matt got a little confused here because if you look down there, the targets are really hard to see. So he went 1-2-1-2, thinking he got them all, and they said the middle target, so he kind of had to fire the array again just to pick up his hits. So, unfortunate mistake there because that will cost him here in the end. Now, Matt moves out to the third bay here with the Akhio in tow. And as you can see here, we had a better batch of snow on here than we had over on stage 1. And the targets are a little more visible here on the third bay. Now, Matt went ahead and planted his ski poles there because they're, unlike stage 1, there was no requirement to use the ski poles as a bipod or monopod.
Retain mag, remove it. Leftmost target.
And going for that, missing that shot, and then going for it. Matt made the decision to keep that mag in hand just in case he missed. It was a good idea, but unfortunately the buzzer does get him here.
Keep going. Now it's time.
Yeah, we're back on the skis again, and this time they've attached a sled to us full of gear that we have to drag around to 3 shooting positions. And the shooting was a little more technical. You got a full-size target, and then you got a mini target, and then you got a 66% in there, laid out in an array. And the sun had come up on us, and it was backlighting us. And that made target identification really freaking challenging. Yeah. Not impossible by any means, but definitely challenging. And even though our engagement at the most was 20 meters, magnification would have been helpful on this stage. But you had 3 engagements you had to do, and you completed the third one. You were complete with the stage. As you completed each engagement, you had to remove the magazine, high-value shot to move on. So potential for 60-second penalty there each time. A really good stage. That one had more real snow on it. Yeah. Not sure why, other than the fact that maybe overnight the little bit of snow we got was enough to make a distance, because I know they had to bring some in for that stage too. Yeah. But for me at least, it was horrible. Matt, you get to go again because you had the ski experience.
I'll say having experience on skis absolutely helped. This was a easier range. To your point, there was more snow. It was a wider track, which made a difference as well. I agree there was like the small target again, especially when you had to do that high value at the end of each to go move on. I hit the first one. There was no problem. I got to the next stage. I literally lost the middle target. So the first shooting position was just 2. Then it was 3 and 3 for the next 2. I got to the second position, shot 1-3, 1-3, and the RO goes, "Don't forget about 2." And so it's like, oh yeah, that's right. There's another target. So I realized it was there, saw it. It wasn't hard to hit. You just had to realize it was there.
Yep.
And then I hit it, and then I basically looked at it as I not that I gamed it, but I look at it as I got to do a full rotation. So I hit it, and rather than double tapping it, I basically ran through another a full set. It was not difficult. If you know how to ski, again, I think that was the deciding factor, because the presentation was decent. There were some difficult shots. That little target felt like it got progressively smaller.
Yeah.
I definitely had some problems, and I think the if you call it gamer mode, when you took your high value shot, keeping your mag in your hand when you're taking that shot, because if you miss it, it's a 60-second penalty unless you hit it. So it was put the mag back in, put around the chamber, pull it out, take a shot again, and I saw people that basically didn't put it back and retained it in their gear. When they missed that shot, it was like a good 5+ seconds for them just to get the mag back in, and so I mean it was eating their lunch.
Yeah, that was a tough stage. Based on how horrible my stage 1 skiing went, I decided to just be slow, steady, wins the day, concentrated about not falling down, which I didn't, yay team, and just moving. I did not put enough into thinking it through what to do when I got to position, because as you skied into position, there was a tire, and they were like, as long as the ski touches the tire, you're good, you've gotten position, then you can do what you have to do. And I was like, go to tire, okay, touch, and made the engagement, and I was having to make some really tight, far twists, where if I'd have just angled in beside the tire either way, and honestly, I talked about doing it, and I decided not to. If I had more confidence on the skis, I literally just would have went paralleled and shot offhand.
Okay.
Switched shoulders and done it, because the targets were
close enough.
Yeah. That was doable.
Yeah, they were close enough and big enough. Yeah. And you have the ability to make up the unload shoe clear. Yeah. That seems reasonable. 100%.
Yeah, I would have done it, and I was very slow and deliberate in what I did when I offloaded my magazine into the dump pouch. Very well aimed shot on that thing, just to make sure, because with the RK loading time being slower, it's like you had to make it.
Yeah.
Or you were done.
Yeah.
And I got through 2 of the bays and didn't get to the third, but that was just my slow, steady, not knowing how to ski, because I had the feeling with that sled attached to me, if I go down, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm down. And that'll segue right into Nick here.
Yes.
When things go wrong. So why don't you lead us through that?
So this was the cumulative other half of my skiing experience in my life up until this point. And having a guy attached to you and just having a better area to ski was great. But yeah, I definitely had a point where casual, just like, let me go ahead and just move my center of gravity behind me, and that was my ticket. That was my ticket to Pound Town, and went down, and it was just like, I am a turtle on my back, I am attached to something behind me, I am on my back, my gun is like in a safe direction. It just coordinating all of that with giant sticks on my feet. That was an interesting thing to get up, because you weren't getting up like you normally would. It was a very deliberate aligning of the different skis outside of you and then scurrying up. So that was a hard part. The shooting was easy, provided you were able to shoot them. In the second bay where I got to, I managed to finish the 2 of the 3 bays, and that second target, I didn't have any magnification on, because like, okay, these targets are pretty big. And I just used my red dot throughout it, and that second target, I didn't see my first rotation, so I went through again and got that. And I will say, when I fell down and everything, my muzzle got all into the snow. And I remember I would get to my first position after falling down, and you'd have all the steam, all the vapor come up, and that would get in the way of your next follow-up shot. And then even on top of that, your exhale, that also impacted your ability to make that follow-up shot. So very interesting kind of dynamic there in terms of breath control to marksmanship, and of course the skill of skiing and doing these things together. Very cool.
Yeah. This was technical. Again, you had to bring the skiing skill with you.
Yes.
Equipment again mattered. Again, I would say on this stage, your shooting skill was third place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, equipment mattered for speed because the AR reloads so much faster than the RK AK series. If I could have skied better, I would have done better. Honestly, if this had been a 4-minute stage, I think I could have got it, or at least gotten to the third bay and got some shots off. But a super fun stage, and honestly, it was kind of the way to end the day.
Yeah.
That was our final stage of the day, not the final one of the match, but our final of the day, and that was that was the one to end on.
Yeah.
We hope you found our coverage of Finnish Brutality 2025 Stage 7 Akhio action helpful and informative. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and tune in tomorrow for Stage 8.